Shameless plug for our newest podcast, Making Me Watch Wrestling. That's right, Jake and Georgie make me watch Japanese professional wrestling and try to convince me that it's awesome. So check it out, Making Me Watch Wrestling, wherever you get podcasts. The movie you're making me watch today is Let the Right One In, 2008, or the Swedish title, Jake.
Stand by.
Oh.
Låt den rätte komma in. That's maybe how you pronounce it. Not sure.
Directed by Tomas Alfredson. Was it yours, Jake? Do you have a word?
Yes, this was my pick. My word for this movie is ominous.
Schwartz.
I'm gonna go eerie.
You got one?
I'm gonna say dreary.
Dreary. Ooh.
Ooh. Let the right one in.
Oh,
what do you think?
I very much liked this movie. It even exceeded my expectations. I've always heard it was a good movie. I just never really got around to it. Probably because I saw the original and I thought it was pretty good, but I don't think it really stuck with me by any means. So, but I really enjoyed this. Like I said, I thought it was pretty great. Beautiful movie. Just like the way it was shot was just gorgeous, I thought. Just interesting story. Just, I don't know, very, very dark, very, very bizarre, of course. But I liked their take on vampires, kind of like. Definitely. It wasn't like the vampire was the bad guy. It was kind of like the vampire just needed to survive. And that was kind of it. Like the other people were worse than this vampire. Like she even cried when she killed that first guy. I think she cried when she killed other people, but I remember that part where she killed that first dude under the bridge, which was an amazing shot, by the way.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my first shots.
That shot reminded me of that whole little sequence of them walking out of wherever they were walking out. Reminded me of American Werewolf in London, when they were just walking around out in the snow, and then the attack, the initial attack in American Werewolf in London. I was thinking of that. I thought it was dope.
For sure. Yeah, and that was we knew probably. I'm assuming everyone knew going into it that this little girl was a vampire, but that was kind of the first confirmation of okay, this little girl's a vampire, and I guess it was a good reveal.
That was the first time we actually saw her drink in the blood, right? Because we saw the dude drain in the blood initially, and we knew that that's what he was doing. Was that in the very beginning? So he drained the blood of that one dude, and then he had to leave it, or he forgot it, or whatever.
No, it's because people kind of snuck up on him, the dog was running through the woods or whatever, and people found him. So he dipped, I think that looked to me that was just bad planning on his probably
part. What the fuck? I mean, he looked like he got the guy on the path that multiple people were walking down, and then it didn't look like he went very far from said path. Still in plenty of light, very visible from you could see from many feet, many yards around him. You can see, so people could see him. I was just thinking, cars. This guy's in the middle of this park, just slaughtering this guy like a fucking goat.
Hey, he was new in town. He didn't have his kill spots marked out yet. Maybe
that guy. Who was that guy?
That was just I think her protector, more or less. I don't know about protector, but helper.
It wasn't her dad.
No, it wasn't her dad. What I kind of took from it was become that dude. That's kind of because she, she said, she's been 12 years old for a really long time. It was kind of in
another question.
In specific, it wasn't specific, but I think that they had a relationship, or they've had some sort of friendship at least from years prior, and that older man was probably just trying to take care of her.
Having seen the remake, the American remake, that old man was basically what that new kid is, just very long time ago. She just adopts. She just gets people to help her out. So eventually, that dude.
So he was a human. He was not. He was not a vampire.
No, he wasn't a vampire. And I think Schwartz might be frozen. But was that pretty was that clear
Yeah.
In the
So
in the remake.
in the American version, that's 100% clear. Like
Okay.
she tells him that that's not her father, and that he finds a picture of both of them from like almost like 65 years before that.
Okay.
And
Kind of
she
remember
tells
that
him
now.
that that's her keeper. And like so basically that's what she was doing. That's why she was befriending him on the playground to begin with. She knew that eventually she was going to need someone new.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, because I kind of got that vibe like
In
at the end
American version.
when they were the American version, of course, just spelt it out for everybody.
Yeah,
But I
well,
felt
I think that with
people ain't gonna get this in the States.
exactly.
Well, there were a few things that were different. Like in the American version, there the whole thing with like the neighbors isn't really a thing. Like the neighbors don't communicate with. I'm gonna call the dude the older guy that was with her that everybody thought was her dad. I'm just calling him like her like helper.
Yeah,
that's what he's there for.
I think his title is the father.
Yeah, so
Okay.
in the American movie they don't really interact with him. The American movie, there's a cop that's after them or is after somebody because he keeps finding these bodies that are drained, and he finds them like there's been reports all over the country. So they travel around the country and they try to hide out from people for a certain amount of times. But this dude's kind of putting it together, and he eventually goes after them, and that's the thing in the American one. But the American one is, I mean,
let's talk about the American one some more.
It's much more dark. This one was much more like lighter, like in the way they filmed it. Like what was cool about this one was that it seemed like it was almost on a stage, which I thought was really cool, especially the outside portions.
It did seem like it. The lighting seemed like
exactly. And the other one was much more dark. And I kind of think I liked seeing the other one first because this was the original. So I saw all of that one pulled from, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty good. It was very comparable. I mean, if I saw this one first, maybe I would like it better, you know?
Yeah, I mean, from what I can remember, I definitely like this one better because it's like I said before, like that the original didn't really stick with me necessarily. Like I remember being good, but it wasn't like something I was like, damn, that was great. Because this one I kind of came off like, damn, that was pretty great.
I remember turning the original on and then turning it off. So I mean, turning the American version on and then turning it off. And
yeah.
I watched this one extremely willingly. I
thought
thought this one had me in right away.
Yeah, I think the American version to me was just a little better because the actors. I really like Chloe Grace Moretz, and I like the kid who played the other dude too. And whatchamacallit, Richard Jenkins was the father guy, her protector / slave, which is pretty dope.
I remember the Richard Jenkins. I did miss Jenkins, but regardless.
So you're telling me I should have watched the American one instead of the original one that we're supposed to be talking about?
We're talking about both, and since they're the same movie, basically we can compare them. It's a good thing to do.
Well,
I didn't see the new one, so
we're talking about
talked about it.
We're talking about the original, is what we're talking about. We can compare a little bit, but yeah, we're definitely talking about the original because that's the one. That's the one I picked. So we're gonna keep talking about the original.
Camera work is great.
Yeah, absolutely. The camera work was fantastic. I liked the black and white, almost not the black and white, but like the white snow, like in the black sky, like the contrast was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, but that goes back to like the lighting seemed like it was on a stage. It was
that's true.
Blackness.
The snow looked great.
It was great. The snow looked great. I thought there were some really dope camera shots, like the one you were saying. I liked how they kind of opened a lot of scenes with a really cool camera move, like when the cat guy that saw Jock get murdered. There was the move. They were inside the bar and they were shooting out the window. And they pull back. They saw him out the window walking up, and then they pull back to the people inside the bar, and then they pull back further to him walking in the door of the bar, and then starting the scene. I thought there was a couple of those that stood out to me. That's a cool way to start scenes.
Absolutely, yeah. So Schwartz, what do you think? What do you think about this version?
I liked it a lot.
Tell us more.
I liked it a lot. I liked the way that she looked when she turns. Her eyes kind of get big, and she almost looked like an old lady sometimes. That was kind of weird. I liked how it was super, super well paced with like the whole bullying thing. I like how that went from him being like total pussy to then him getting confidence from her. And I think she was almost like looking for, like I said at the beginning, looking for someone to take over the mantle of the dude, her other protector, and knows that having someone her age is the way to go. because they don't look weird together and they can do whatever they need to do. I thought the cinematography was awesome. I thought the tone was great. It was fun. It was a good movie. I didn't expect anything less. I've been, like you said, I've been wanting to watch the movie for a while. I just never got around to it.
Any what else we got here?
The timer, idiot.
All good.
I think my favorite scene in the movie is when he pours the acid on himself to hide his whole.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was pretty dope.
Oh yeah, crazy scene. I know that guy I like that character, but like he pretty much fucked up the whole time.
He was terrible.
It was 2 times where he just failed wildly, and then
the only 2 times we saw him try, he failed 100% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way he went out. That was kind of wild, like how she flew up to the room and or ran up the wall or whatever she did.
That was rad.
Yeah, that was a dope shot too.
Word, rad. My word is rad. I'm gonna cut that back in there.
We'll get that in post. Great. Yeah, that was a great shot when that nurse came out and like it was just still the wide of the building. And he just started scurry up. And that was
awesome.
And his face looked all fucked up. I don't remember that being in the remake. Did Jenkins?
That was the opening scene of the remake.
Oh, was it? Oh, damn. Yeah. Okay. So it's all about Jenkins. That's cool. I would make a movie all about Jenkins too. So
who was Jenkins?
Richard Jenkins, who played the old man in the American remake.
So the movie was about him?
No, it was about her. It was more about her, but the whole thing of him being her protector and once being the same age as her and traveling with her for all those years was just fully explained and being told like, yeah, that's exactly what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, I had to make those connections in my head.
And like I said before, the neighbors. I
wonder if that was spelled out in the novel.
The neighbors don't really communicate with that dude, Richard Jenkins' character. They communicate with the kid. All the neighbors are seen through the kid's point of view. Like he's spying on them and shit with like binoculars and shit. It's just a little different.
I love that she turned that chick. That was
that was
rad.
Wild.
What would you do? Wild. What would you do if you woke up and you just started exhibiting signs of being a vampire?
Vampire would be crazy.
Who would you call? Who would you tell? Would you tell anybody?
Or no?
That shot when she opens up the window and the light is super bright and she's all like, that was pretty dope.
The first time or the second time when she explodes? Like that was
I'm talking about the first time when she wakes up. Yeah, that was awesome. But when she wakes up in her like whatever apartment she was in, it's just super blown out. I thought that was dope.
Yeah, because she woke up because her like hand was in the light, so it like burnt her, and then she opened the thing. She's like, "Oh fuck!"
That was cool. That was cool. I didn't know what I was expecting. I don't know if she just died right there, but when it like started showing her turn as a vampire, I was like, "This is rad." And I was thinking, "Fuck, what would I do if I woke up and that shit was happening to me?" I was just exhibiting signs of the symptoms of being a vampire. Would you tell anybody? I don't even know if I would. How I would have to. What would I do? I would have to like prove it to myself of what what was happening, and then who would I tell?
Because it almost seemed like she didn't know what was going on because she's like, that little girl infected me, but then at the same time like. The little boy knew what vampires were because he asked the girl at one point, like, are you a vampire? So obviously vampires
are a thing,
are some sort of folklore in this world. So I don't know. Yeah, you think she would know? Which does
she say straight up she's a vampire, or does she say something more vague than that? Or does she say she's a vampire?
He asks if she's a vampire, and he says, and she whatever, she's actually a boy, right?
I don't know.
Says
that was a weird thing too.
In the novel, I guess she was it explains that she was a boy that was castrated before he was turned, and she never corrects anyone saying that if they think she's a girl because she can use it to kill them and drink their blood.
Yeah, she often just said, "I'm not a girl." It didn't really go into that, but I guess that's what. But she did say when the boy asked her.
her
Very
Chopped off
quickly.
parts.
her little
Yeah.
chop off.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Which was not.
I wasn't
in
sure
the,
on that part.
That wasn't in the American version
Of
Okay.
course
at
it
all.
wasn't.
So when I
Probably
saw
not.
that, I was like, oh damn.
But the American version was less sexual and more violent.
I mean, this one was pretty violent too. I mean, this one was a lot of blood. The
A lot of
scene
blood, but
where
they didn't
where-
show a lot.
yeah,
In
No.
the
scene
end.
where she when she says you got to invite me in, she starts bleeding until he says to come in. That was probably one of my second
That was
favorite
cool.
movie. No,
But
it was
just
dope.
just to clarify, when he did ask her that, I remember her response was, "I live off of blood."
Yes.
Yeah.
So she wasn't like a direct "yes, I'm a vampire," because it's
Yes.
probably
Yeah.
like she probably doesn't want to be considered that. I'm
She-
guessing
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's like
She
it's
lives
probably a
off of
slur.
blood.
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
I
but
wonder because we don't know Swedish if the exact translation was vampire. Because
Yeah,
what we're reading
it's true.
Well-
that's why it may as well be dubbed because it's an American translation or
What I was gonna
it's
say-
dubbed like a English translation.
What I
Mhm.
was gonna say is that even in the other movie, they never really call her a vampire, and that's why it's always thought like maybe she isn't. Maybe she's just a demon of some sort. But I mean, we all know things that drink blood are usually vampires, so
Things
it's hard
drink
not to
blood,
call it that.
Can't be. I mean, she can't be in the
She can't be in the
daylight.
sunlight. Yeah, so it all leads to that. I mean, I get
Yeah.
it.
What
I
was
liked
up
how they
with the
kept that
cats?
stuff.
Shoot, the cat scene were pretty cool.
That was gnarly.
wild.
That was pretty wild.
I just thought there was going to be a crazy cat guy. I didn't know those cats were going to be fucking gnarly.
Cats hate vamps, bro.
I didn't
What
know
was-
that. I was
I
unaware.
guess so. I guess so.
I just found that out too.
That
You
that whole
know,
thing
she
of
exhibits normal vampire things. She can't be in the sunlight. She loves blood. Cats hate her.
that whole thing about that cat guy seeing the murder was interesting. I liked that aspect of it, of them being like, and then not finding the body. That was pretty cool.
I loved how
Yeah,
he was
that
getting
was
rid
dope.
of bodies. He was just poking them under the
Right.
ice.
Yeah. And
That
I
was-
think, honestly, having said those two other scenes, I forgot about the last scene in the movie when she
Yeah.
kills all those people in the pool. That's probably the dopest scene, especially
Mhm.
because the camera's under the water and you see the feet getting dragged. and shit.
Yeah,
So
was pretty
the head drops in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the arm that was holding him
Yeah.
down.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was crazy. So is she gonna be his protector for the rest of his life as long
Yeah.
as he gets her blood?
Basically,
Seems like it.
they just watch out for each other. Like they're there to protect, to watch each other's back. Because dude, if you think the whole time, like she just recognized that he was this dude who was super alienated and he's super weird, and she knew people like picked on him and shit. She was like, this dude's perfect. Like he's in love with me, type of thing. And I think that's another reason why she doesn't pretend not to be a boy. Is because she knows that being a girl, you can manipulate fucking little boys. You know what I mean? Or men
So you're
in general.
saying she didn't like him at all?
No, she might have liked him because she has to like him. You know what I mean? It's like she's gonna be hanging out with this dude all the time. I think she was
Her
vetting him.
sole
You know?
purpose was just to get him to replace this dude.
I think that in the beginning it was like a thought of hers, and then once that guy, her protector, goes down, it was 100% the way she was going. Yeah, she knew she needed someone. So at that point, that dude with the acid, 100% after that.
She
But
seemed to
she kept
care
seeing
about him.
she seemed to care about him for sure. And then she also was leaving. She was like, she said she was leaving a bunch of times. She never did, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying she didn't care about him, but she definitely saw him as someone who could help her. I mean,
Right.
she can't really transport around by herself that well, unless she only travels one
flies.
night. Yeah, that's another thing too. Is why do you think she even has that box to store in if she can fly around? You know what I mean? Maybe I don't know. I guess it is to
Gotta get
travel
out of
during
the
the
sun.
day, but
Yeah.
I guess if
Gotta
there's no
get out.
home for her to get into, yeah. And then again, like
I fucking
meet
forgot that
someone-
she was in a box at the end. What's in
yeah,
the box?
they do the knocking
Yeah.
to talk to each other,
I just watched it
and that
4
was
seconds
really
ago.
cool too. That was really cool too. The whole like them communicating between the walls, which was also in the other movie, which I always thought was really cool. I
Super
thought that was
happy
always
ending.
pretty dope.
It was a happy ending, but it was also like that unexplained undertone of like, oh, this is the new protector. It's like almost it was like a sad cycle that that I kind of realized.
Yeah, for sure.
Or that's not what it is.
It might not be.
Or maybe she just fell in love with him.
Could have been.
Yeah, maybe.
Could have been all the above. Who knows?
Maybe
she
that's
just
what it
fell in love,
was.
dude. You know what I like to think? I like to think that she's got like 6 uncles that once a year go to Alaska for 30 days and murk people. 30 days a night.
Just
That'd be a
put-
good movie.
That's what I like to think.
Yeah, if we're just making up storylines, why not, right? Was that in the American remake, Schwartz? About the uncle?
That was 30 Days of Night with Josh Hartnett.
So sort of.
Kind of.
That's another great movie.
That's
great
a
fucking
great
movie.
That was a
vampire
pretty good
movie.
one.
Yeah.
That's a great vampire movie. This was a great vampire movie. That
It's
I will
original.
say. It's an original, cool story vampire
and I love
movie.
movies where kids are the main characters. It's always more fun. And this was a much darker tone movie with kids for sure. Like there wasn't anything really light about this movie in any way, which is another reason why I really like it, because movies like that are more interesting to me.
Yeah, definitely the dark tones I liked. Like the whole time, like it felt like just something bad was gonna happen. Like there was just this looming uncomfortable, like every scene you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen to this person?
From her and him to the bullies to the mom and dad. What was up with the dad and his friend? I didn't understand that. Like was he just sad that his dad had a friend over because he
was that his dad, that younger dude he was with at the table? That was his dad?
Yeah, that was his dad.
I didn't get that part. I didn't
really understand that either.
That part confused the shit out of me. I was like, who is this guy he's talking to right now?
Well, they showed the dad. They showed the dad earlier.
The second time we see the dad.
Really? I don't remember the dad.
It was brief, but and then I didn't know like he just had a friend over, and then the kid bounced. I didn't really understand that scene either. Yeah, but that was one of the few scenes I was like, huh? But maybe the only one.
There was a couple scenes that I was like, well, I missed something here.
Right, that'll happen.
Mostly, I think there was a couple scenes with the neighbors, and then I quickly realized that this was all just setting up to kill one of the neighbors, and I didn't really need to know whatever I missed.
Yeah, it sounds like you were saying the remake had like a cop storyline. It kind of sounds like that one neighbor that was like gonna try to kill the girl Ellie. Like it sounds like that was kind of like that storyline, but it wasn't a cop. It was the neighbor that was investigating it.
They took out that whole the neighbor trying to find them and shit.
Okay.
And they that part for sure. No.
That makes sense.
But it wasn't big. It's not like it's like a big investigation. It's literally, Elias Koteas, the actor, he plays the cop, and he's it's not him like with a bunch of people.
I don't know who that is.
It's literally just him fucking searching. So it's cool. It's small tone. He's Casey Jones. He's Casey Jones in Ninja Turtles.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know that reference.
You should watch Ninja Turtles.
Never
seen. I'm slightly remembering the first or the
Ninja Turtles
remake a little bit more.
He's in so many. He's in so many
Ninja Turtles.
He's in all of the Ninja Turtles, and he's in all of the. All right. Well, whatever.
So it's not the guy we're thinking of.
Do you guys want to rank Ninja Turtle movies real quick, just since we're on the news?
I have not seen the Ninja Turtle movies.
You've never seen them at all?
Never seen them.
Oh man, if they're streaming, we're doing those next.
Sounds like we got an episode coming up.
I'm not a big fan of the Ninja Turtles.
How do you know?
Watch Ninja Turtle movies? This is supposed to be like awesome obscure foreign movies that people don't watch. Not fucking Ninja Turtles.
That's not true. Obscure. It's everything.
I mean, we've watched Indiana Jones and Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Yeah.
They're not. To be fair, the Ninja Turtle movies are not on the same level as Back to the Future or Indiana Jones.
No.
we should stick to good movies.
Those movies are good.
Well, then Schwartz can't take any more movies.
They're fun. They're fun, man.
Got him City. Schwartz, you can't pick any more movies.
You got me good. You're going to love my next pick.
What is it? Showgirls?
Ninja Turtles Part 1.
Damn it.
And the podcast is ended on Let the Right One In.
That was good. Solid 20 episodes.
Good run.
Bye.
So what do you guys think of this movie? Where does it rate then on your list?
Well, I got one more favorite scene. I don't think I picked a favorite scene, but I was gonna say, you guys probably already met. Like, there were so many good fucking scenes. You guys probably already mentioned the few, but the one that I liked a lot was when they were ice skating, and when he hits him, and then they simultaneously find the dude's body. It was just I just like that setting was very good. It was funny because you felt because they there's the body, and then but it also like that guy, he stood up to the kid, so go him, go Oscar.
Just immediately overshadowed.
Yeah, immediately like, oh, here's another bad thing happening.
The pool scene was my favorite.
Yeah, that's great.
That shit was crazy.
That was probably my favorite.
I was watching it, and then he was holding him under, and I like looked away, and I looked back, and I saw like the feet going through the water. I was like, holy shit. she's back.
Yeah,
It's the
how it
second
was
time
like
she said she was going to leave, and she didn't.
Did you notice too the one kid who was like crying in his hands was still alive?
Yeah.
In the end,
Was he though? He may have been just killed like that.
That's what I was thinking. Do you think he purposely like wasn't looking because he was so scared? Did she not kill him because he didn't look, or was he dead? Like I was trying to right there. I was like, which one of those is it? Like personally for me, I want to think that he was so scared of opening his eyes that he didn't, and she was just like, all right, well, fuck it.
Yeah, because the other kids weren't really doing anything, and she fucking worked that. The dude that. Well, I guess he kind of lured him in and told I guess
they were still watching.
I have a feeling that chick was
terrible teachers.
I have a feeling that chick was watching them for a while. She saw him lure that she saw the kid lure him there and all that shit.
Yeah,
oh, well, she must just have been following him since like he left.
Yeah, probably.
But with the kid crying on the bench, I did like purposely look, and I did not see any blood around him because there was like pools of blood by everyone else. Yep. I kind of think you're right. He probably was just scared or just fucking crying.
I think he died of fear.
He probably passed out.
He just died like
not a lot of blood when you die of fear.
The fuck out.
Yeah.
Unless you shit yourself.
He wasn't moving though. It didn't look like he was moving, but there was no blood. So
I think that's cool that you can debate it like that though too. That's fun.
Did the American version
probably had a
have an answer?
I don't remember. I don't remember if they killed him all or not. I do remember that
the
was
American
one of the best
version,
scenes.
He came in with a gun.
That's probably a good scene. Was it like the similar shot?
Yeah. Well, the way in the pool was pretty damn similar. Yeah,
that was just like such a cool way to show that with just the pool. Him struggling
because the movie was not really that violent. We saw a lot of blood, but we didn't see a lot of gore in the very beginning. He cut, but even then, the only thing we didn't see anything happen. We just saw body parts falling in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really see anything happen. We saw her jump on the dude, but we didn't really see anything. The very first scene, he stabs the guy's neck, but he fully covers it when he does it. We really don't see it when the final scene when she's killing the dude in the bathroom that comes in to stab her while she's sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see that. We just see blood splurt out. So it really wasn't that violent of a movie.
I think the most gory part of the movie was actually showing the dude's face with the acid. That was crazy shit right there. That was pretty wild.
I did notice like the way it was shot, like it often used like obscure kind of shots, like purposely like almost not showing things. Like it would be like parts of faces would be cropped out, or like it'd be like back of the head, or like almost strange close-ups at times. Like, so I don't know, that kind of goes back to what you're saying about like them not actually showing blood, but it's like it was just very like it's more suggestive than anything.
They showed the blood, they just didn't show they didn't show the violent act of
they never showed him getting stabbed in the throat, but we saw the blood coming out.
It's a pretty artsy movie in that way too. There's a lot of shots that are very art, like it's like an independent artsy type of thing. Like, so even the shot when he is getting caught and he's about to dump the acid on his face and he's in the bathroom, and the shot of the bathroom and they come in, like that was like super dope. And there's a few shots like that too that are start on something and they land on shots like that, which is great. And like I said, the playground scenes, when the two of them are out there, like that was, even in the remake version, that was my favorite too, because the way it looked. And this one looked different than that, but it still was my favorite the way it looked. It looked like a stage, which I thought was really dope. I thought that was really, really fun.
I thought it was weird. I did think it was a little weird, the lighting,
because it was so bright, right?
It was so bright everywhere. It was like, and there, like it would just seem like everything was a little too hot. Like even there, like the background was a little too hot. Their keys were a little too hot. It just seemed like
they were doing that purposely.
For sure.
Maybe that's what they were doing. Yeah, because the biggest. So out of all the filmmakers who worked on this movie, the DP is the one who is most like famous now for doing other shit. He's now Nolan's DP. And he also DP'd like Spectre and shit like that. His name's Hoyt van Hoytema. Actually, Anthony, me and you met him online at Cinegear. Remember the guy who was like, "Oh, I'm trying to get in here. They won't let me in." The guy that's Hoyt van Hoytema.
Yeah, I remember. You were like, "Dude, that's fucking Rick Van Winkle over there."
that's Nolan's DP though. Ever since Interstellar.
Oh wow, yeah, he did Interstellar, Dunkirk, and he's the upcoming Tenet.
And Spectre. He did Spectre too.
We also had lunch with Scorsese that day, but continue.
Now I see a movie that I want to see because that same dude shot it, and the same director, Tomas Alfredson, did it. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I never saw that.
That's a good movie.
But I should check that out.
You know what else is a good one? Is Her. I don't know if you've seen Her, but he DP'd Her too, which is pretty good.
He did. Oh yeah, it's right there. Yeah, that was a good one too. Yeah, this guy's a rad. The Fighter, also by David O. Russell. That was really well shot.
Let the right one in was his big jump off. That was a movie that made everybody aware of him.
Looks like it. Yeah, I gotta check out this. I've actually seen a lot of his movies. I didn't even realize.
He did Ad Astra too.
Yeah,
that was pretty rad.
I gotta look into this director a little more.
I think I would consider his movies pretty rad.
Yeah. They're good. They're quality.
He does good work.
I mean, Interstellar. Those
rad work.
Movie are absolutely ridiculous. Like
Interstellar is one of my favorite movies.
Ridiculous movie. Yeah, it's a great movie.
And Dunkirk was incredibly shot too. Like,
hell yeah.
I was so taken aback.
Dunkirk.
I know. He does.
I'm not a Dunkirk fan, but I respect the shit out of the cinematography, especially those aerial scenes, those Tom Hardy fucking aerial scenes. That shit was pretty impressive.
That's like my fifth movie with Tom Hardy in a mask.
It's like my favorite Nolan movie since like the early Batmans that he did.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. Prestige takes my top.
Interstellar is one of the best movies ever made.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's not great though. There was parts that
about?
I just didn't like the ending. It lost me after some spots.
The parts where Matt Damon shows up,
Matt
could
Damon
have probably got rid of all that. It's maybe 20 minutes too long, but it's still a pretty great movie.
If it just wasn't Matt Damon, would that have made you happy?
No, I don't mind it, but I could see why someone would. I get that, but I didn't mind it.
That's one of the greatest movies.
Predictable.
It's pretty great.
One thing that bothered me about it, without talking too much about fucking Interstellar, but it was like the end part where they were like at that farm, and like it was those walls like kind of closing up on themselves, so like the fields were like vertical. It was like the same effect and shit they used on Inception.
Well, they were on a spaceship that was round.
I know you can defend it, but it was just like that was
defending it. If you were gonna have a spaceship out that you lived on, like we all moved off of Earth to a spaceship, you need gravity, and that's like the best way to get gravity is make a big sphere, like what was the movie Elysium?
No, I know it was a good movie. I just didn't like it that much. There was parts that bugged me. But that's Interstellar. That's just a lot of Nolan for me. Like he to me, Nolan just overcomplicates his fucking movies like on purpose.
I get what you're saying with that.
So, well, we're not talking about that one. We're talking about Interstellar.
I know. There's a lot of
let's talk. What's talking about? Let the right one in.
Yeah, let's go back.
Prestige. Such a good movie. That is his best one.
That's my favorite one.
Prestige is pretty good.
Prestige and Dark movies. Prestige and Dark Knight.
Yeah, his Batman movies are great, but come on, Prestige is one is. It's
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
great
pretty
ending.
good.
It's great ending because
Jake,
you get both sides to the Prestige. You get the fact that he did have a twin and the fucking machine worked. So both things were happening. It's like, wait, what? How is that happening?
Awesome. Jake. Spoiler for Prestige. Damn it! I'm gonna have to put spoiler alerts for how many movies did we spoil this?
It's been like
a couple. The Matt Damon thing's definitely a pretty big spoiler for Interstellar.
In the info for this podcast, it's gonna have a list of spoilers.
Obviously, spoiling the American remake of this film throughout.
For sure.
So it is what it is. Lots of spoilers.
Why'd they change it to let me in?
Who cares?
Probably to set it apart a little bit.
To Americanize it because that's too many words.
It's not a different movie, Anthony. It's the same goddamn movie. It's
you
almost
just explained all kinds of things that were different.
Yeah, but it's the same movie. They took that movie and made it and remade it. And
made it a different movie. It's all based on a book. So you make a movie out of a book. It's like saying the fucking Batman movies are all the same.
It's just considered a remake
because it came after the other one. I think that's why it's called a remake. Yeah.
On the Wikipedia, it's called a remake.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a remake.
Well, yeah,
I think we've talked about this before. I think we can agree
that it's a remake.
Yeah.
Or is it a reboot? No. Let's not go down that. Let's not go down that road.
They're both good though. They're both great. The tone is just what I love about them, is how dark they are, and the scores for both of them are great. The scores are pretty fucking interesting.
Sound design was awesome.
Yeah.
From the snow in the boots to the blood dripping in the tanks, the fucking what I think I wrote shit down about that. I just thought that everything sounded cool. Sound design was great. Walking in the snow, the blood, putting things in the bag, like when he was loading up the bag to go kill people with, and he was like testing out the little fucking breather thing and whatever that was, which I thought was awesome. He's like, "Hey man, you got time?" "No, I don't have a watch." "What's that?" "Oh, this is whatever, knockout gas." And then he just gasses him. I mean, the vanishing. Have you ever seen The Vanishing with Jeff Bridges?
I don't think so.
Wow.
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm pretty sure he knocks himself out. He's trying to kidnap somebody, and he like accidentally smells the rag, and he knocks himself out. It was a great scene. Let the right one in. Do we have rankings?
I think I do.
Where do you put this one? I definitely do.
Where are you going? Where you got it?
Hold on, because I need to open my sheets. Anthony is going to put it pretty high on the list.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's definitely going above Deep Red. It's definitely going above Blue Velvet. Because I still can't decide if I liked that movie or hated it.
So polarizing just for yourself.
I'm putting it either right below or right above Ready or Not.
Oh, that'd be an easy choice for me.
Yeah, I put it above it for sure.
I would definitely put it above that.
That's you.
I was looking at your list today because I actually did like the total again of the 20 we've done, and I was thinking, I'm like, damn, he liked Ready or Not a lot.
Yeah,
I did like Ready or Not. I don't know why you guys didn't.
I like Ready or Not. It's fun. That's a fun fucking movie.
I guess I was just surprised by how high it was because it was like number 6.
Yeah, now it's number 7.
All right.
Hey, these are not the order that I think are best. This is the order that I would rather watch them.
It's fair.
And I put Let the Right One In. Yeah, I'm probably, I guess, above Ready or Not. I guess I'd rather. I don't know though. I don't know. I think I'd want to watch Ready or Not again.
I think you almost got to like. The way I do my list, I think I like kind of compare. I try to balance the like better versus if I want to watch it more or recommend. Like I have to find a spot for it and somehow in the middle. So I would take the consideration of, is it a better movie or what's the better movie?
Cool.
If you're torn
that's not how I do my list, but I like that that's how you do your list.
Well, I guess in the way I mean is like if you're torn between two, maybe consider other avenues.
Nah.
My list actually is both. My list actually is both now that I look at it. It's actually the way that I think they're as good as they are and the way I'd want to watch them. It's pretty wild.
That's probably how we should be doing it, is what is the better movie.
I think mine just falls like that. I mean, I don't know. I'm putting mine.
Well, you're the fucking mayor of show business, Mr. No Movies over here.
I'm putting mine under Border, above The Host.
For sure, it's under Border.
Okay. Border above the
I mean, it's under Border.
I'm sorry. Above Border, below Back to the Future. My bad.
For sure, it's above Border. Border.
Yeah,
my bad. That's right.
I don't know how Border's so high on your list.
Border's a dope fucking movie. Border is an original fucking movie, and I give a lot of points for originality. And it's well made too. No, it's a well-made movie.
Sure.
That's a good movie. I would watch. That's a wild fucking movie. That's the right one. Yeah, that's definitely where I think it should be on mine. Where are you putting it, Jake?
Dude, I'm like kind of torn with
he's tearing
this or below Creep. And you guys know how much I love the Creep films. And they're pretty high on my list.
I think you gotta put it above them, dude.
And that would not creep out of the top 5.
I wouldn't say this, but some would say disgustingly high on your list.
Yeah, it is kind of is way too high on your list. It's above Indiana Jones, Blood Simple, Blue Velvet, Deep Red. Yeah, it's way too high on your
The
list.
fuck are you talking about with putting Creep up there, dude?
You know what? Screw you guys. I'm gonna put it under Creep at number 6. It's a hard. I have a hard top 5 to break right now. With The Host, A Taxi Driver, Handmaid, and Back to the Future in the Creep films, it's gonna be hard to break those movies.
Yeah,
man.
you guys are so fancy with your fancy movies. Listen, Indiana Jones and Back to the Future are better than everything we've watched. Everything.
That's not true.
Apparently, I love Korean films, but that's just me.
That's cool. Handmaiden is my third.
And your 4th is The Host. So
and my 4th is The Host. And I like The Host. And you know what?
We're close.
I want to put Taxi Driver. I'm thinking about raising Taxi Driver, to be honest with you.
I
That's
think you
another
should
thing
raise
about
Taxi
this list.
Driver.
This list, sometimes I'm taking a shower and I'm thinking about the list and I'm thinking, I don't know about this one.
You can edit. I've done it obviously a few times.
Ever evolving.
You can switch it up.
Yeah, I think we might have. I think I might have to, because I think about the movies.
It's fair game. Yeah.
There's movies that I watch, and I'm sure you guys are the same, where you hate them at first and love them later. And if there can be that
or vice
extreme,
versa.
or vice versa, and if there can be that extreme, then my movies, especially now that we're in 20 something movies.
Yep, that was 21.
Things may change.
Yeah,
things may
totally
change.
Understandable. Because I did do another. Because since we edited the franchises down into one film or one ranking, we were back to 20 spots. So I kind of re-looked at that.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So let me see. Indiana Jones is pretty low on your list.
Indiana Jones is number 10? Pretty close in the middle.
Indiana Jones is 10 on your list. Where did you have
it was lower before.
No. Where did you have number 2, Temple of Doom ranked?
Temple of Doom, I believe I had that above Police Story. I don't know if it may have been above Blood Simple. It was around Blood Simple area.
Okay, because you said, I remember you saying you had that higher than the other ones,
yeah.
And then when we consolidated them, you put them all together.
Yeah, it was either
lower position,
right? Just because the couple of them I didn't care for,
which is weird because 90% of America loves those movies.
I know,
and 80% of the world.
Yep.
Australians hate that movie.
I can relate to the Australian people. I think I understand.
Okay.
But cool. Yeah, overall, we have at least Indiana Jones made top 5 still.
Yeah, well, America.
It was number 4. Handmaiden still number 1. Back to the Future still number 2. The Host, Indiana Jones, Blue Velvet rounds out our top 5.
It's a good top 5.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I need to lower Blue Velvet. That's a movie that I'm disliking the more that I think about it. The more I stew on Blue Velvet, the more I think, I'm not sure I like that film.
I mean, I totally respect you switching spots with a Taxi Driver on your ranking, because I noticed it.
I should move Taxi Driver up.
Yeah, at least switch with Blue Velvet.
They're
both great to me.
Now?
Yeah, you have Blue Velvet a spot above Taxi Driver.
Yeah, I'm switching those right now.
Ooh, here we go.
Let's reiterate: A Taxi Driver.
A Taxi Driver, moving up the list because it's a great film. Schwartz hated it, but you know his taste in films.
In fact,
it's not as good as you think it is.
I'm dropping it down too.
Oh yeah.
I'm putting up A Taxi Driver and Deep Red above Blue Velvet. I think we could all agree with that.
Deep Red is lower for sure for me, but I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
How could you understand?
I thought Blue Velvet is pretty because I speak English, so I understand what you're saying. Anyway,
okay.
I think Blue Velvet is just iconic for me.
Yeah, Blue Velvet's pretty great.
Why? Whatever. We already
Yeah.
did that conversation.
If you want to know why, listen to last week's episode.
I think we should
movies.
redo Blue Velvet, and I don't know, maybe I should watch it again because I don't think I liked it. I think it's going to be dropping every day. Anyway,
no redos. What you said stays.
Any last words on Tomas Alfredson's epic movie, Let the Right One In?
Watch it.
I say don't. I'm just kidding. Definitely watch it. What I do say is definitely watch the original version and not the American version. Jake, last words?
Watch it.
American version's better.
That's probably not true, and we all know Schwartz.
True. 100% true.
We all know Schwartz lies.
Either way is fine.
You heard it here. It's the truth. Schwartz is a liar. Thanks for listening to another blood-sucking episode of Making Me Watch Movies. More importantly, check out our new podcast, Making Me Watch Wrestling, where you figured it out. They made me watch wrestling, professional wrestling, Japanese professional wrestling at that, the G1 Climax 30. It's a watch-along podcast. Check it out. Making Me Watch Wrestling, wherever you listen to podcasts. Next movie for this podcast is Brian De Palma's weird flick, Sisters, 1973, available on HBO Max. Check it out. Listen to us next week. Making Me Watch Movies and Making Me Watch Wrestling again. Bye.